Taylor, number 21 on our Open Series leaderboard. Anderson at number 20. So both these players just on the outside of 2 buys coming into this weekend.
Now, this Constellation deck still, it's trying to defend itself by blocking. We know that's a challenging thing to do against Ban Heroic. Though John is packing 4 copies of Banishing Light, very helpful in this matchup, even through Tremoka's command, just resetting one of the large creatures. You don't really care if it comes back as a 2/2, you can handle that. But being able to contain the 6/6s and 7/7s, very good for John.
Favorite Hoplite's going to come across here for 1. Anderson with a great start. It's not going to be on Trailblazer, unfortunately, but it does have power. It's going to come in for 1. Here's a Hero of Iroas for Todd on turn number 2. Taylor going to play a Sylvan Caryatid. He'll fetch up a Forest here with that Windswept Heath. Round number 13 is very much underway here in Richmond. Anderson picked up a copy of Mana Confluence, so green mana will not be an issue. And Ban Heroic having a great tournament here for Todd and Chris Van Meter. Tom Ross a little further down the standings, but you know, he's really the originator of the deck, and I'm sure he's put a pretty good build together for Todd and Chris this weekend as you see a Defiant Strike.
It's always nice when the team says, I think we want to play your deck. Can you walk us through it?
And then the person doing the walking through doesn't have a very good weekend. It's oftentimes the case, oddly enough. Here's a Hero of Iroas, or excuse me, a Ordeal of Thassa, and now an attack. 2 cards coming. This is really not a start that we've seen from Todd this weekend. He's had some real trouble getting off the ground. Same with Chris.
The deck, once you move to the 3rd color, you get some clunkers in the opening hand because you are sometimes missing colors of mana, and you have 5 temples in the list. So you have a lot of lands that are coming into play tapped.
Defiant Strike here on Hero of Iroas. That'll give it a counter as well. Todd will draw cards. A really, really good start there for him. He was actually able to pick up that Defiant Strike off of the Ordeal of Thassa trigger, drawing 2 cards. So couldn't really ask for much more as far as start's concerned.
Yeah, a gutsy block there by John. Defiant Strike, the worst case scenario.
You do wonder if he has a card like Banishing Light this turn. He's just got a Courser of Crufix instead. That'll reveal a copy of Sansep Citadel. We're going to head back Anderson's way. Anderson will draw a card. Picked up a copy of Tremoka's command.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
A little pause in the shuffling the hand. Todd thought he had a good turn laid out, but maybe there's something better going on now.
Yeah, I think get that Courser off the battlefield is a pretty good turn. Yeah, and John's just going to concede the game. He knows he's beat. That's the best Ban Heroic draw we have seen from either Anderson or Van Meter this weekend.
And John also concealing a little bit of information there. No guarantee Todd knows that he's on some sort of Constellation build. He played some Abzan lands, Sylvan Caryatid, and a Courser Crucifix.
Revealed Sansep Citadel.
Yeah, it showed really nothing there. So Todd may be light on the amount of anti-enchantment stuff he boards in if he has it, and John gets to conceal a little bit of information before they go to game 2.
Todd Anderson does win game number 1 here over John Taylor, Ban Heroic, up a game over Abzan Constellation. We take a look at John Taylor's sideboard. You'll find 3 Arbor Colossus, 3 Heroes Downfall, 2 Extinguish All Hope, 2 Glare of Heresy, 2 Ajani Mentor of Heroes, 2 Elspeth Sun's Champion, and an Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
Great sideboard for the matchup here. Heroes Downfall and Extinguish All Hope, Glare of Heresy all seem like superstars here. And I don't mind the Ugin as one big play for the matchup because it's close to a lock against Heroic. You can get away from some of your slower cards like Sigil of the Empty Thrones and Starfield Nyx, cards that take a long time to get going. You don't want to have too many expensive cards. You can't handle a lot of 8-drops, but Ugin is so good against Heroic that I don't mind bringing it in.
What do we see for Todd in his Ban Heroic deck?
Seen the sideboard a lot this weekend from the Road Note crew, same 75 across the board. 2 copies of Ordeal of Philiad, a Lagoon Trailblazer, a Triton Tactics, 2 Disdainful Stroke, a Stratus Dancer, an Island, 2 Treasure Cruise, 2 Aqueous Form, 3 Encased Knights. Assuming that Todd's in the impression that this is just a regular Abzan control deck, I think you're going to see the 2 copies of Treasure Cruise, the Stratus Dancer, the 2 Disdainful Strokes coming for this matchup, and perhaps the Trailblazer as well.
We will discuss Invitational Championships and what you do when you win one. Todd Anderson did win one, of course, a couple of years ago, but that was before we were doing this sweet promotion of making a token, having your likeness on a card, which Ali Antrazi, he got the full treatment with the Angel token.
Yeah, congratulations, Ali Antrazi, our Season 2 Invitational Champion, featured here on this Angel token with his son Aiden. Variety of ways to get this token. You can sign up for any of our 2-day $20,000 Open Series events, any of our 5K Premier IQs, both the ones that we run Sundays at our Opens and the ones that you can bring to your local store, and any order from StarCityGames.com. $5 or more.
Got our Season 3 Invitational coming up right around the corner at the end of August. We're going back to Jersey. Last time we were there, the boss, T. Ross, did beat Reed Duke in the finals, so hopefully we can have something that lives up to that match.
It was a great one. A great run for Tom. Tom at the height of his powers.
Yeah, no kidding.
Back-to-back Invitational champion.
Yeah, and obviously Reed, second place in Invitational. He's just really good at doing that.
Just really good.
Yeah. Also just really good at Magic. Of course, that's our Invitational token. Now, we learned a little bit more about John Taylor, a player who, unfortunately for him, only got to play 3 turns that game. But he is number 21 on our Open Series leaderboard. He is 22 years old, from Mooresboro, North Carolina. 3 IQ wins, a North Carolina student, along with computer science, and enjoys golf and bowling, 2 things I am terrible at.
I can't hit a golf ball.
Neither can I.
I can't hit one off a tee. I am a mediocre civilian bowler. By which I mean I have no training. I've gone to the lanes occasionally.
Okay. I need a little bit of an explanation there.
Civilian is a term I just use for regular human beings with no training.
I'm the worst bowler you may... See, I'm either really good at stuff or really bad at it. Bowling, golf, truly terrible.
Yeah.
Truly terrible.
I'm good for somewhere between, a 110 and a 135.
Okay. I can maybe break 100.
High variance.
Yeah.
But a high variance bowler.
200 never going to happen.
And high variance is what happens in bowling when you don't know how to throw a bowling ball.
Well, that's part of the appeal of bowling. See, but also, I like to I like to bounce the bowling ball. Like, I'm still a child at heart, so
Sure.
I like to do I like the bumpers on the lane.
Right.
I think that's fun.
That has a habit of inflating your score.
Well, it's necessary, but I like to have the bumpers on lane and then just throw the ball at the bumper and then see what's going to happen. It's kind of like playing pinball, sort of. So that's more my speed.
But I'm going to have to start pursuing these sports more and more as I get older, slow down, joints can't really handle
No. I expect you to be the 40-year-old of the YMCA. Setting picks, running plays.
Yeah.
Telling people to move in certain spots.
Screaming at people.
Yeah. I don't want to see you just tone it down and start golfing. That's like giving up.
You can scream at people while you golf, too.
Well,
you don't have to give that up necessarily.
Well, that's a different conversation. Carry at it here for Taylor on turn 2. Anderson does start a favorite hoplite yet again here. He'll attack for 1. We'll see if Taylor does want to block. A defiant strike can make this pretty bad. Looks like Taylor will just take the 1.
Yeah. John snapped him off last time, which I didn't mind because he was under so much pressure that I don't think he could afford to play around a one-mana spell like that, but here he's got a little bit more of a cushion.
See what Todd has for the second turn of the game. Looks like nothing. Just pass the turn back. Courser of Crewfix here. Is there a land? Nope, but Sigil of the Empty Throne. Taylor just has to pass the turn back.
Well, now all mysteries have been revealed.
Yep. Todd knows exactly what he's up to, and it's not a traditional take on Abzan, that's for sure. Anderson going to sacrifice his windswept heath. Forester plane's on the way. We'll find out soon enough. I took a little look at that plane, so I have to feel he's going for a forest now.
I don't think he has Dromoka's command in hand, but the upside of drawing it right now is so high that Todd's willing to concede a little bit of development here. Double white would be helpful. He's got a couple copies of Defiant Strike and so forth, but wants to give himself an opportunity to find Dromoka's command and cast it.
Here's an aggressive use of God's Willing at the end of turn. This will get favorite hoplite to counter and also allow Anderson to scry. He'll keep that card on top. He'll draw a card. Didn't get a great look at it. Okay, it's a Flooded Strand. That's blue mana for the Ordeal of Thassa that's in hand. So this will let him keep pushing through some damage and draw some cards. And there is the basic island. There's an Ordeal. Counter, beatdowns, counter, peel 2. Monastery Mentor added to the grip.
Treasure Cruise as well. Todd really well situated for a late game here while still having plenty of action going on early.
Sigil of the Empty Throne was the draw. Plains on top of the deck here for Taylor. He'll play another Courser. Now he'll play the Plains. Gain 2 life, up to 16. We'll see the top card of the deck here in just a moment. That's a Nyx Weaver, and in comes a Courser. In a perfect world, you reveal a spell, you draw a spell, reveal a land.
And what a spell.
You a big Nyx Weaver guy?
Not really. I
Okay.
mean, I think it's, you had to play it in decks like this. You need to have a critical mass of enchantments, but.
Enchantment Spider.
Enchantment creature dash spider.
Very nice. 2/3 reach. Can also regrow some stuff.
Several slow burns.
Yes. Nothing fast about it.
Right. If you've got some time, that card's pretty powerful.
Yep.
But you need to have some time.
A forest, 2 plains and an island on the battlefield here for Anderson. Well, it looks like Monastery Mentor will be joining the battlefield now. So perhaps Todd looking to go wide here against Taylor. Taylor will draw that Nyx Weaver. Take a look at the next card. It's a Courser of Crewfix.
Todd's kind of got the best of both worlds going on right now because he has one large threat that John is not capable of blocking. John is sort of flooding the board with some blockers, though, and Monastery Mentor gives Todd the option of going around all that as well. So he's kind of hitting John from 2 angles right now. Assuming he has spells for the Mentor, but I assume that he does.
Here come the beatdowns. Only one Courser has interest in coming into the red zone. Todd's got some interest in blocking, it appears. He's certainly thinking about it.
Well, the only card on the surface that would justify rolling the dice is Defiant Strike. Because that makes his creature large enough to kill the Courser.
The Giant's Presence isn't bad.
Yep, the Giant's Presence also qualifies.
Yeah. That's going to win. It'll give it +1/+1 from Prowess and then +1/+1 from Resolving. Also bring a Monk token along with it. The follow-up is Banishing Light. I'll take that with me. Pass the turn back. John had to lose his creature to do that, but at the same time, if he was scared of God's Willing, that play does make sense.
And Todd has to be willing to block for that to even come up there.
For sure.
And that's a gutsy block. I think Todd's logic in that spot is, well, I'm not worried about Hero's Downfall here. And, you know, I want to cast a spell anyway to trigger my Monastery Mentor. I want to untap with another creature in play. If I'm going to cast a spell anyway, and my opponent is showing some vulnerability, I might as well block and see what's going on. The upside is I get to kill a Courser, and the downside is, you know, I get blown out, but I was kind of going to incur that risk anyway because I was going to cast a spell with my leftover mana.
Treasure Cruise. 3 cards on the way.
Todd is also just going to block in those spots a lot because
It's Todd.
it's Todd.
Yeah. You're not getting any damage through on me.
Yeah. You're going to have to take every point of damage you want out of my cold, dead hand. It's not going to be free. And because John's playing, the reason I said not really concerned about Downfall is because John's playing this Constellation build. You had to imagine cards like Abzan Charm and Hero's Downfall have been shaved out of the deck for other enchantments. So he's probably not
likely.
He's probably not playing that many instants.
Here come the beatdowns. There's a copy of God's Willing. Let's see what's next, if there is anything next. Another God's Willing. Todd really pushing through the damage here. And those Prowess triggers actually help to kill the Courser because you had a Treasure Cruise and 2 God's Willings. So that Monk token was a 4/4. Favorite Hoplite is the follow-up. Todd just wanted to get the Coursers off the table.
Some very aggressive plays here from Todd, but I think that he's correctly identified either weakness or good spots to take a risk every single time.
Banishing Light on top of the deck. All Taylor can do is pass the turn back. Some real mana issues this game.
Now he has to chump block with the Courser, assuming that he even gets to do that.
Yep. No guarantee. Looks like our deal was the draw. Anderson going to do a little math here, perhaps try to figure out what the best creature to ordeal is because he does have 2 favorite Hoplites out there. He's going to go in the big favorite Hoplite because he wants cards.
Well, I think the big thing is he's just going for the kill this turn.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, it costs himself a point or 2 of damage, but the best case scenario is he just kills outright.
Yep, there's Defiant Strike. That's going to let him kill John Taylor. Todd Anderson going to win this match here over John Taylor. The battle between number 20 and 21 on the Open Series leaderboard here for Season 3 goes to Anderson. Ban Heroic will take care of Opson Constellation. And for Todd, he moves on to 11-2 and in great position to top 8 now.
When you look at a deck list with Sigil of the Anti-Throne, Starfield, Nyx, Nyx Weaver, Rufus's Insight, it's hard to have a good matchup against Heroic.
Yeah.
The deck is so ruthless and so efficient that if you're messing around with 5-mana cards that need some time to get going, if you're messing around with divinations, there's only so much of that your deck can handle before the matchup becomes untenable. And John doesn't have a lot of removal or sweepers to recover with. And this is just going to be a tough matchup. And Dromoka's command is not helping him at all here as well, because the sacrifice enchantment mode is going to be really, really powerful against his curve of creatures.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what I think Todd would consider to be a really good match for him. A good pairing late in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.